One evening, when Jack was 9, his father took him outside to look at the stars. "Beautiful, aren't they?" his father said, gesturing to the endless expanse above. Jack nodded, but his gaze drifted to the shadowy edges of their yard, where the trees loomed like silent sentinels. "What's in the dark, Dad?" "Just a night, son," his father replied. "Nothing to be afraid of." But Jack wasn't convinced. As he grew older, Jack's family life became more complicated. His parents' marriage, once steady, began to show cracks. Arguments flared, often late at night, their voices muffled but sharp enough to cut through the walls. His mother's warm laughter became less frequent, replaced by an air of quiet sadness. One day his younger sister found him sketching in his notebook. "What are you drawing?" she asked, peering over his shoulder. "A house," Jack replied. "It looks scary," she said, her brow furrowing. The house in Jack's drawing was no ordinary home. Its windows were dark, its doors slightly ajar, and behind it, a forest seemed alive with something unspoken. "It's just how I see it," Jack said, closing the notebook. In his teens, Jack began experimenting with a Super 8 camera his father had given him. His early films were strange, dreamlike, close-ups of insects crawling through the grass, shots of empty streets at dusk, and scenes of people smiling while their eyes betrayed something deeper. "What's the point of this?" a teacher asked after watching one of his short films. Jack shrugged. "I just want to show what's really there." As Jack entered adulthood, his talent for capturing the hidden truths of human nature blossomed. His films grew more ambitious, exploring themes of duality, the light and darkness within people, the beauty and horror coexisting in everyday life. Audiences were drawn to his work, even if they couldn't always understand it. But Jack's personal life didn't fare as well. He struggled to maintain relationships, often becoming consumed by his art. "You're always somewhere else," his first wife told him during an argument. "Even when you're here, you're not here." Jack didn't deny it. He couldn't. His mind was a labyrinth of ideas, and his art was the only way he knew to navigate it. Over time, Jack's films became a mirror of his inner world. The troubled family dynamics, the hidden darkness, the surreal blending of dreams and reality. It was all a reflection of Jack's life, his fears and his search for meaning. In one particularly candid moment, a collaborator asked him, "Why do you make films like this?" Jack smiled faintly. "Because the world isn't as simple as it looks," he said. "There's beauty, but there's also something else. And I want to understand both." Jack's work would go on to influence generations of filmmakers and artists. His unique vision, his ability to explore the unsettling and the sublime, made him a legend in the world of cinema. Because you see, Jack wasn't his real name. It was just a placeholder for a man whose art transformed the ordinary into the extraordinary. Today, the world knows him as David Lynch, the creator of Blue Velvet, Twin Peaks, and countless other works that dared to venture into the shadows. And now you know the rest of the story.